The show is about to start. Places. The show is about to start. You have to show a look, have a look, or give a look. Faces. Beautiful. No one ugly allowed. Are you ready? Here we go. Fashion is the art. Designers are the gods. Models play the part of angels in the dark. Which one of you would ever dare to go against? That beauty is a trade and everyone is paid. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look? New York, London, Paris, Milan, Tokyo. I think it's in Japan. Asia, Malaysia, Las Vegas to play. LA, if you pay my way. Fashionista. How do you look? Fashionista. How do you look?
Well, hello out there in Facebook land. It is your girl, Morgan. Not only the queen so nice they named her thrice, but she's also your anchor of excellence. And I just was so excited about that intro video because what cutie pie, huh? Love you so much already. And so obviously, spoiler alert, you know who we're going to be chatting with tonight. So, but in true Morgan fashion, please hit that share button. The more people we bring in, the more people we have fall in love with the America system as much as your girl, Morgan does. But you know what? I know this is going to be a jam-packed conversation with this fabulous human being. And I'm so excited to give the ins and the outs, get the details, where they were, where they're at, and where they're going. But I'm so proud of this person so much. And I've just seen them shine. I got to firsthand see them do what they do, which we're going to talk about. But once again, please hit that share button. The more people we bring in, the more people we have not only fall in love with the America system, but also the Esquire division as well. So put your hands together for your new reigning Esquire Gay America 2026, Jaredlance. Hello there. Gay America Esquire. I said it backwards. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. You got it.
I was so excited because that intro video, I got a little blushed from it.
I was looking at it and I said, oh, she went to the trenches of my Facebook.
Well, I had a little time while I was nursing today yesterday. Yeah. You know what? Patients can wait for their medication. I want to Facebook stalk you and get some cute pictures. But thank you for joining me tonight. Everyone out there, this is Jaredlance, your Gay America Esquire 2026. And it's been, I feel like a month, not even a month.
A month and some change. Yeah, I got crowned on May 1st. So a month and some change.
Congratulations. Yeah. I loved every drip of what you put out on that stage. And it's just very inspiring because what I see from you is a drive. And you weren't stopping, and she's a goal. That's something that you wanted to do. And that's very inspiring for everyone out there because it's not, and I know that people say it a lot, but it's not if, it's when.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
that- Go ahead,
Yeah, I
honey.
mean, no, whenever I got started into pageantry, which was 2023, so 3 years ago, that's whenever I found the America system was in December of 2022 from a Google search, mind you. That's how I found what the America system was about and all of that. I found the goal and I set out for it, and it took me a couple of tries, but just because I lost those first 2 years didn't mean that I lost in general. Like, I gained a lot of experience, relationships, and then everything that there then came thereafter. And it was the biggest blessing to find pageantry, and it's definitely where I found my community and I think my purpose as an entertainer and as an individual. So
I know I'm going to gush over you throughout this entirety of our conversation because I just adore you, and I see you, and I see the things you're doing already 4 weeks into your reign. And so I'm just, me personally, I'm only speaking for myself, but I'm excited
yeah,
to see all the great things that you're going to do this year with your reign and moving forward.
thank you.
So why don't we, just because you know what, it's me, it's my show, and
Yeah.
I want to know you, and I know everyone else out there wants to get to know you as well. So if you're watching us right now, if you want to ask a question, you can put it in the comments. I'm looking at the comments sheet right now as well, so please ask questions. PG-13, please. Thank you so much. But, I mean, you can text me the other ones, and I'll get the answers for you.
Yes.
But
Behind the paywall.
right, it's only a PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo for me, honey.
Right.
But, so why don't we start? Where are you from originally? Where were you born at?
So I'm originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, and
Okay.
so the middle of the desert, it's like my happy place is being in the desert heat. The humidity here in the South, because I live in Atlanta, Georgia,
Mhm.
is homophobic to say the least. But no, I'm originally from Las Vegas, and I lived outside of Los Angeles for a handful of years
Right.
in my as a kid, and then I moved to a very small Mormon community in northern Nevada. If you know where Reno is, it's about halfway there, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and then about an hour outside of Reno is a little town called Fallon, like Jimmy Fallon. And that's where I grew up. That I moved there when I was 11 years old, and then I moved away at 18. So I went to junior high, I went to high school, I came out there in a Mormon town, which was crazy. And
Which we
I,
so we're gonna get to it.
yeah. But that's where I'm from. Nevada is my home. I have a Nevada tattoo on my chest. And it's like, I don't know, it's my home away from home now because Atlanta really is my home here. And then I moved to Georgia at 18 years old, with 3 bags and $300 to my name and nary a soul to know. And I've been here ever since for 12 years almost.
And then look where you're at, and look what you've done.
Yeah.
I mean, well, first of all, let's look at where you're at, because that's where I want to be. With
Yeah.
the pool back there, or like
Um,
a
that is a hot tub over
hot
there. That
tub?
is the outside patio. And this is not my house. This is my best friend's house.
Babe, you could have said it was your house. We didn't know nonetheless. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You know what? I appreciate that you're fully transparent, and you're just keeping
Yeah,
it
of
positive.
course. Of course.
So why the moving around so much when you were younger? Was it just because your parents were moving a lot for jobs, or like what was the quote?
Um, so I mean, if we're gonna be transparent, right? This is who we
That's up to
are.
you. Yeah. And,
Yeah, no,
and
I'm an open
always
book.
say next question, by the way.
Sure. No, I'm an open book, really, with everything that I've gone through as a kid and as a young adult. Um, to be frank, we were just really, really poor. Um, in junior high, I think it was seventh grade, we lived in a Motel 6
Mhm.
for about 6 months of a school year. And if you know a school year, it's only about 8, 9 months or so. So for the majority of one school year, I lived in a hotel, and we bounced around. And it was just where my mom, because my mom was a single mom, I don't know my father,
Okay.
um, just deadbeat, whatever. But for a long time, it was just my mom and I have 3 other siblings, and all 4 of us are super, super close. But for a handful of times, it was just my mom, Linda, and I. And so we moved around as much as we could. And then we found a place in Fallon, and it was great for the most part, you know. But then whenever I moved to Georgia, that story's crazy. I was competing at the International Thespian Festival, which is hosted, I believe, in Lincoln, Nebraska, still, or Omaha, Nebraska, for high school age theater students. And I met a boy my first day there.
I thought you were going to say my first love. And I was like, oh, but you're like, no, my first day there.
No, my first day there at the competition, I found a boy and he lived in Georgia.
Okay.
And we fell for each other. We were 18, blah, blah, blah. And I had just graduated high school so 18. And I moved to Georgia for him. And I only knew him for a week. Very lesbian, honestly.
I love it. Did you get puppies and all the kitties and the... You did.
Ask me how long we were together until we broke up.
So you went to Georgia for the
for a boy
in love with.
At 18 years old. I knew him for a week, and then we broke up a month later.
A month later. But and you moved in with him or them?
No, it's a whole story. I moved in. No, you're good. I moved in with one of his friends.
Okay.
It was a whole thing. We broke up a month later. And needless to say, I stayed in Georgia because I didn't want to move back home. And I had too much pride. And I had just graduated high school. I had just moved out. And I was like, no, I can stay here. Woo. And my mom was heartbroken because we're best friends.
Yeah. Linda.
2 weeks. Yeah, Linda. 2 weeks to the day of me moving to Georgia, I called her in tears. And I said, I hate it here. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to move back. And she cut me off and she said, you are too big for this small town. Stay in Georgia. You will thrive in Georgia. And the day old saying of mother knows best is very true. And so I stayed in Georgia, and 12 years later, I'm considerably a successful individual.
I think you are, and I'm allowed to say that because I'm the anchor of excellence. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you. Thank you. But no, I mean, so I moved around a lot just because we were really poor. My mom was a waitress for a long, long time. And so we were just trying to keep our feet on the ground, but also like keep food in our bellies and all of that good stuff. And then whenever I found this opportunity to move, I took it. And I at 18, you think you know everything. And I knew nothing. And I only knew the boy that I was moving to Georgia for. And I only knew him for a week. So, I mean, it's a lot.
You gotta give yourself a ton of credit because at 18, doing something so bold like that is like incredible. Really?
Yeah. I mean, and I don't, thank you, and like, I don't take it, I had balls at 18. Like, I look at 18-year-olds now and I'm just like, oh my God, stay home, please. Like, but no, I do. The older I get, because I'm 30 now, the older I get, I really do reflect and say, wow, you really did take a chance. And a lot of people took chances on me, if we're being frank. I was homeless for a handful of days after moving to Georgia and everything of the sort, until a wonderful family, Robin and Ken, took me in, and they basically said, like, we're going to get you on your feet because we see something in you. You just have to work. Like, you have to get a job. You have to save your money, A, B, and C, right? And so I graciously said yes. And within 11 months of me moving to Georgia, I had 3 jobs. I had a car, and I had a phone plan, and I ended up like moving out of their house and finding a roommate and everything. And so I was able to get my feet wet and then plant them on the ground and then start my journey here in Georgia. And I've been here ever since, and I really love it. Georgia as a whole is questionable at times, especially during the elections, but Atlanta is an amazing city, and it has brought me so many great opportunities, and I've met such awesome people here. And then my husband, he and I met here, and he has a career at a wonderful hospital, and then I'm here. So, but
Well,
yeah.
and also I think something very special is happening in Atlanta as well in January, I think.
Yeah, I think Miss Gay America moved
And
here. I don't
Nash
know.
Femme. No, I'm
Yeah.
serious. No,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
The Miss Gay America pageants tree system is
Yeah.
going to be there. So I'm very excited.
Yeah. And
So now,
Monica Mitchell's lives here, so it's really convenient too, just to
yeah,
have
yeah.
everybody here.
Am I allowed to go to the hot tub when I get there?
Sure, come on. Yeah, come on. Put your Speedo on.
A little
Yeah.
something. No. So okay. Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for sharing that. I think that's like
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's paramount to hear a little bit about who you are and what brings your drive, what makes you who you are, and that is your story. That's who you are.
Yeah.
That's what drove you to doing other things that inspire you to do things to make you who you are. And I just
Yeah.
respect that so much. And I don't and I'm not saying it jokingly. I respect Linda as well because
Thank you.
your mother, like, and I'm sorry, Robin and
Ken.
Ken. Sorry, Ken.
Yeah.
But I respect that because there's people in your life that are the staple people in your life that help guide you to where you are and who you are today, and these successes and these accolades that you're getting, and which rightfully so. And I know we're going to dig a little bit, hopefully a little bit deeper too of who you are.
Yeah. 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 Of
Like,
course.
it's just really cool to hear your story. So thank you.
Thank you.
So you were saying more you were a theater person, or did you do any sports when you were younger?
Yeah, I was definitely yeah, I was definitely like the gay theater kid, right? Like I was in competitive ballroom dancing, and so we were ballroom dancers,
Mhm.
my high school's team, chorus, choir, whatever you want to call it, and then theater, right?
Yeah.
Um, I did play football my freshman year of high school,
Are
mainly
you an
because
are you an offensive person or a defensive
I
person?
was defensive end on the left side. Everybody makes the joke of like, "Oh, were you a tight end or a wide receiver?"
I
Ha
love that.
ha. And I'm just like, "Okay, Mary, it's old. Wasn't funny the
You know
first
what?
time."
Back in the dawn of the time when football started
Yeah.
ASU, what I wanted to do and what I was I a tight end or whatever? And I said, no, I'm third string quarterback, but that's okay.
But yeah, so I played football basically like on a dare because somebody was all like, "You won't do it," and I said, "Watch me, I will." And I sucked at it. I was not good, to
But
be
you tried something.
objective.
But you tried something different.
Yeah, and then I did cheerleading the next year, my sophomore year, and I was significantly better at that.
I have to
um,
answer a question, not to interrupt you, but I have to
yeah,
answer a question just because we're chit-chatting, we're having a good chat. And I find that a lot of people that I'm interviewing, their groundwork is cheerleading. Like all the people that I'm chatting with that are winning, different crowns,
yeah,
whomever whatever walks of life I have on my show, it's definitely cheerleading is a big one, and theater, of course.
yeah,
And
of course,
like,
yeah.
so interesting that cheerleading is one of those escapes
Maneuvers, yeah,
maneuvers. But
yeah.
so
It
what were you
was great. I
as
loved
a
it.
cheerleader? What did you do as cheerleading? Were you one of
I
the
was
base?
the back. No, I was not a base. I was a back spot, so I was
And I said, "No,
behind.
it's
I
just
wanted to be a flyer because I was very much a twink back then, and I was the only boy on the team. And so they were like, "Okay, you can do one like half, and if you're comfortable there, we'll put you up." And I did it, and I was so scared. And I'm not even scared of heights, but I was just like, "Oh my god, put me down. Y'all are not about to throw me. I'm not about to do a twirl or a spin." I was so nervous. But I was a back spot, and then I ended up being team captain because I was so dedicated to it. And I really did enjoy it. For the football season, I hated doing it during basketball season. I thought that was horrible.
why is
Because
that?
it just like the vibe is different. I mean, for like my experience, football games are outside. The energy is really, really awesome. It's usually warm. And then with basketball, it's usually inside. I also just I don't like watching basketball games. I respect the sport. Don't don't go
But I
crazy,
think
but
of
like,
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, where they're like,
uh-huh.
You know, well, that's dating me. I'm a little older than you, so okay. Never mind. We're just keep it rolling. Did you pass the spirit stick though? Did you pass the baton?
No, we were not given batons because, yeah.
I'm getting you a baton. That's it. Don't
Sure.
tell Jaredlance that I'm getting them a baton.
Yeah, I'll be waiting for it.
That's fabulous. So that was something fun that you were doing to just kind of
Yeah.
yourself, which is great. So when
Yeah.
did you get into more of like performing? When did you get into more of like the gay scene of performing, I guess, or the queer scene? Excuse me.
Yeah. So I didn't really get into anything like that. So whenever I moved to Georgia, I stopped because I'm a stage actor by trade, right? And
Mhm.
so whenever I moved to Georgia, I just was so nervous about like trying to get back into that world with no life.
Mhm.
Like, because I didn't have a life at that time. I had just moved, so I was trying to get my feet on the ground. And so I actually took an 8-year hiatus from entertaining of all sorts. And it was always something fun where I was like, oh, I used to be an actor, or, I was on the dance ballroom team and all that. And then I started coming, we moved to Atlanta in January of 2019 because I lived outside of the city. My partner and I moved to Atlanta in 2019 together, and we were very much in like the party scene for a long time. Like name a circuit party, like the Atlantis Cruise. I've been there.
Atlantis Cruise, little shout out Atlantis Cruise.
Yeah,
We're looking for vacations.
right. So before I was a pageant king, I was a circuit queen. But so it was always just like a fun memory, and then I got back into performing as an actor. Unfortunately, whenever my mom had passed away, and so thank you. And so she passed away March 3rd, 2022, and it was 6 months before I got married, which was very poetic in like the worst ways. But whenever she passed away, I really started to realize my own mortality. And I had to sit with myself for a while, and I was like, okay, she's gone. She will never see you be the success story that she wanted to see. So what does that mean now? You have one of two options. You either pursue it and do it for her, or you sit idle because it's what you've been doing for the last 8 years. And so I had to make a decision and say, okay, well, I've been sitting idle too long. My mom is gone physically. I'm getting married in 6 months. What do I do? How do I do it? And so I auditioned for a show here in Atlanta.
Are we allowed to know the name of the show? Was it like a TV show, or was it like a?
It was a stage production. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
No, you're fine. You're fine. So I auditioned for Kinky Boots.
I can see that. I see that.
Yeah. And I was cast as an angel. And from that show, from that audition, I was offered another role in a show called Boys in the Buff, which is exactly how it sounds.
Like X-rated.
Yeah, but like we were doing it tastefully.
So I feel like it's like if you watch Sex in the City, it's when Samantha meets her man, Jared, I think his name is too. Jared Smith. His name's Jared Smith, just to let you know. And he did his production in the Buff as well. But anyway,
no way.
The ones that know, that are listening, they know what I'm talking about.
But so long story short, I auditioned for Kinky Boots. I got both of those shows. And so I was so enamored because I was like, oh, this isn't just like little volunteer community theater. It's like professional theater. And so in that moment, I was like, oh, am I a professional stage actor now? I'm getting paid for it. Like I have these rehearsals, whatever. So I took that in stride and I was like, wow, my mom had to die for me to pursue what I wanted to do. And as morbid as it sounds, so bear with me, it is the only way that I can look at it, because I've gone to the therapy, right, for grief and everything. And it's really helped me process and rationalize everything that I've done thus far. But then whenever those shows closed in December of 2022, I really wanted to test my creativity. I was like, God, what do I do? Because I'm not booking any shows right now.
Right.
So I Google searched gay pageants in Atlanta. Go.
I'm
And
so. Go ahead. I'm enjoying the combo here. I'm literally on your train right now, Jaredlance.
yeah.
Go ahead. All right. So you
But
Googled gay pageants.
yeah. So I Googled gay pageants in Atlanta and I found Mr. Gay Southern America 2023, official preliminary to Mr. Gay America. And I was like, what is this? Click. And I saw Casey Sunshine's photo as the rating, and I saw Monica Mitchell's photo as the promoter for Southern.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's crazy. I said, this local? Oh my God. So I add both of them on Facebook. I message Monica, and I think she's watching, but I message
see it.
Monica.
She gave you a lot of love already.
Yeah. I messaged Monica and I said, hey, you don't know me, but I'm going to win your pageant. I'd love to take you to lunch. And she said, okay,
That's
cool.
classy. That's classy.
So she said, okay, cool. So I met with her and Booker, her husband, and I brought a notebook and I said, okay, how do I win this pageant? And I told her like my upbringing. She told me like how the system operates and like what they go for and what they look for and blah, 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 blah. Right. And at the time, Tatiana was reigning for Miss. And so whenever Gay Southern came around, I got to meet both of them, Casey and Tatiana. And Casey and I had been in talks for a couple of months by that point because it was in June. And so whenever I competed, I had no idea what I was doing. I ended up winning. Go me. But I was so baffled because I didn't realize the work that went into it. But I really did hit the ground running to the best of my capability because I knew when I saw KC as Mr. Gay America, right, the former name, I was like, oh, I can do this. This is what I want. This is what I need to do. And then my first year in America was amazing. And Gio had won. And he had told me later on, he's like, I think you're going to appreciate not winning your first time. And I was like, I don't know, girl. I'd really like to, or whatever. But, it took me a couple of tries. And this last month, I was very fortunate enough to win. And it's the only thing that's been keeping me going is knowing that, my mom knew what I was capable of long before I ever knew. And because of her, I'm sitting with this title right now. And it is the truth. And I say this in all seriousness. If my mom was alive, I don't know if I would have pursued it. Because whenever you lose somebody so significant to you, it really shatters you. I mean, grief is the heaviest thing I've ever carried. And if I could take it away from every single person who is in the same club as me, I would. Like, if I could do one thing, I would take away anybody's grief that's lost a parent, a sibling, whatever, because it is the most harrowing thing I've ever had to do and go through and then operate life still, because that's what happens when somebody passes away. You still have to live.
Yeah.
But everything that I do so in honor of her. And so whenever I won, I shot up like, I love you, because that was for her. And it was the best feeling in the world because I finally did it. I set out a goal. I reached that goal. And I know that my mom, Linda, was with me the whole time. So
she was with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you know
Thanks.
what? It's not only very amazing that how you were able to, I don't want, lack of better words, persevere through all of your life and to get to a space. But also what I'm really loving, and just fills my love tank so much, is that like you take it in such a sense of like empowerment and you are, Linda taught you very well
Yeah.
how to handle situations like this, and it's just really cool. And I just hope that everyone hears your voice, because your story is powerful, and I hope that people can hear it so then they can learn from it as well, or just get something from it. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so let's get down to it. So what kind of cereal
Yeah.
do you eat? What kind of cereal do you eat in the morning?
I don't eat cereal, actually.
What do you eat? Breakfast? What do you eat? What do you eat in the morning?
I eat breakfast. Yeah. I'll usually get like, I love hash browns. I love like a bacon, egg, and cheese, a sausage, egg, and cheese.
We don't have a Wawa down there. Where do you get it at?
Dunkin'.
Right. There's a Dunkin' in Atlanta. I'm set. I can get some.
Yeah.
I love it. So, okay. So I do have to. So before you competing for Mr. Gay America, Mr.
Yeah.
Gay Southern America,
Yeah.
had you ever performed on a stage before?
Yeah, in the sense of like being a stage actor, right? Or
Yeah.
doing musical theater.
Or like how your style, well, more so your style now. Do you
No.
because it's different from this was the first time you were like, I'm just gonna put myself out there in a different space?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I had no idea. Like, I knew what drag was, obviously, and I knew what like pageantry was, but I didn't know the depth of drag pageantry and like what that calls for, honestly. But whenever I Googled it and I reached out to Monica and I was talking to Casey, like I watched 1,000 different videos, right? All on YouTube. Just to kind of get familiar with the culture and like what is expected. And I fell in love with it. But no, I mean, I never performed like that in any kind of the sense of the word.
Very impressed.
Oh, thanks. And I think it's, I think, having a background in dance and theater really helped me navigate the performance side of it. Like my first drag show as Jaredlance, the male entertainer, was after Mr. Gay America 2024. It was like a month later, and it was like a drag brunch. And somebody said, they're like, you've never done a drag show before, but you just competed at a national level. And I was like, I mean, I'm not from this world, I'm from the live theater world.
Yes.
But honestly, like all drag queens and kings and everything in between, like they all start as theater kids. So it's not abnormal, right?
Do you know what I love about you too is I definitely can tell you had the theater background. I just love your stance when you have like you have this like dancing stance. I guess I don't know if it's like the toes pointed or like however it is. And I'm just like, you better, my little angel as well.
No, yeah. I mean, it's been commented on before that people can tell I'm a dancer just by how I stand or how I operate whenever I walk. I was at a ballet show here in Atlanta one winter with my husband, and I was standing literally to the side just because I was trying to get out of people's way. And one of the workers was like, I can tell you're a dancer. I said, how? I'm just standing here. And she said, it's just how it's one straight line the whole way. And I was like, oh, well, thank you.
And I'm telling you, and that is not a read. That can be very like in a powerful way, intimidating to people when you are showing up to a pageant and you know what you're doing and you're trained. Do you know what I mean? That's a compliment. Like that.
Well, thank you. No, I take it as one.
I did notice that this year when I was doing the Esquire documentary out in wherever we were.
Kansas City.
I almost said Atlanta, and I didn't want to screw that up.
No, you're good. You're good.
So let's get back to a little bit about you, because I do want to dig into the pageantry system and of course the Esquire division, and I want to really dig into that just a little bit more. But I want to get to know you a little bit more. So you are married? You have a partner? Married.
Married.
Yeah,
How many? 4 years.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And do you have any fur babies?
Yeah, we have agreed no actual children. Not for me. But we do have a dog. His name is Amaru. He is a Shiba Inu, so he's a Japanese breed, and so we gave him a name that matches. And in it, like I think Amaru like loosely translates to red circle, and he's a red Shiba. And we got him during the pandemic because he was a pandemic puppy. And my husband was a ICU COVID nurse during the pandemic. And so to really like kind of hone in on like the family aspect, and we really needed to, and we took um quarantine very seriously, and so we didn't go anywhere really for that whole year. So we were just like, oh, let's get a dog because we're home, you know.
Right.
But yeah, so we are a family of three. We're thinking of getting a secondary dog in the next 2 years or so. We will see.
Well, you're
But
going
we'll
to be a
see.
little busy for the year, but that's, you know.
Yeah, and Dorian, my husband, that's his name. He is so incredibly supportive. He's not on Facebook or really any social media, so he won't see this. So I'm saying it even without him seeing it. But he is the best person to have in your corner. He wasn't able to go to Kansas City because he had work obligations, but he was watching live and he recorded all of my categories on his phone. And the crowning, he sent me the video of him recording the crowning, and he like the commentary is so funny because it's so sweet.
Oh, because you can hear him saying that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm a very lucky individual.
Yeah. How did you two meet?
Ah,
And I know, well, PG-13.
yeah,
How did
no,
you
the
meet?
T. T. So we met on an app, and no, it was
Okay.
not that app. We met on Snapchat, actually. Which the craziest thing is that we were added to this random group chat together, and random. It was people from like mainly Florida, and then like a few people from Georgia. And we thought this group chat was annoying. And so we left the group chat. But before we did that, we added each other. And I didn't realize he lived less than a mile away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love
Yep.
it.
So we met on
That's
Snapchat.
serendipity, my darling.
Yeah. So it worked out. I mean, clearly. But it is kind of funny to be like, oh, we met on an app, but not that one. But yeah, so we met on Snapchat, which is crazy, like a modern love story, I guess. And we met July 31st, 2018. And then we moved in December, January of 2018, 19. And then we've been together ever since.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what do you two like to do we'll start with what do you two like to do for fun? Like, do you go travel, or do you like to be more homebodies? Do you watch Netflix? Do you like make food? What do you all like to do?
Yeah, so we are horror movie buffs. I love a horror movie, and let me tell you, I'll give him all the credit. I did not like a horror movie until I met him. And he even told me, he's all like, I love horror movies. You kind of gotta like them. And I was like, well, you're really hot, so I will watch a scary movie. And I've fallen in love with the genre as a whole, just because it's become kind of like a safe space just to watch a horror movie. And honestly, with all screenplays out there, horror movies are the most original. Albeit some of them are not great, but like when you think of a rom-com, it's the same formula, right? When you think of like a period piece, it's typically the same formula. With horror movies, there's next to no rules because they're so underappreciated, like in the media and during award season, and so they kind of make their own lane. And I love a horror movie, but I will give him credit to that because he introduced them to me, and now I watch them to go to sleep.
I'm not allowed to say this out loud, but I just need to post this. I need to put this comment up. I'm not saying it out loud because this is also a PG-13, but this is what Dex just said.
Oh no, what did she say?
Oh, you can't see it, can you? All right.
I have my laptop up.
I'll just read it. I'm like
Oh
blushing.
my god.
All right, I'll just put it away. Here, she's gone. Dex, get out of the DMs. Just kidding. Stay. So what do you like to do for fun? When I know it's going to be crazy, chaotic this year, it's going to be fun and exciting, but what do you like to do for yourself?
I really, and like seriously, I love reading memoirs. I'm reading Luke Evans' memoir right now. And he's he's so hot. But it's ridiculous. Like I want to be I want to be his version of Dr. Frankenfurter for Halloween this year. um,
Oh, look
but
at him.
no,
Got it. I know who he is now. You just got me. I'm there.
yeah. But so I love reading memoirs. I've read a handful of memoirs in the last couple of years, and I think it's because I really, and this, somebody told me it sounded pretentious. I don't think it does, but I really want to write my own. I really want to write my own because I think through all the trials and tribulations that I, as a really disenfranchised kid, went through, um, and then, like a poor little kid from middle America can become gay America Esquire. I think there is actually something that could be really great with that. But also, like, processing grief. It's hard, and
Mhm.
it can be rewarding whenever you're on the opposite side, but you're never fully healed, you know? And
Mhm.
so I really, yeah, I mean, like, so to answer your question, sorry, I'm rambling. I really
No,
want to write.
I have a lot. I have like 15 more questions from your rambles. So
Okay, perfect. I love reading memoirs. I love watching horror movies, and I also like watching um, horror movie breakdowns
okay.
of how people, like, how they analyze the psychology of like the killer or of the characters or something like that. That's really fun to me. I am so jumpy. I get scared really easily, but I really enjoy it because like it gets the blood
Good to
pumping,
know.
so
That's good to know.
yeah.
So have you ever thought about doing a talent number or some kind of production number as a spooky or horror kind of vibe, or even a rom-com horror?
I mean, I'm not gonna say never. It's not in my ideas right
Okay.
now. And the nice thing too, like regarding a talent, I personally have no desire to compete ever again, or for another system. Now, and that is a respect to all the other systems because I've seen what they offer. And I love the America system. And it's not just because I'm the national symbol of excellence, it's because I genuinely, for me, I don't think it could get any better. Again, I'm going to emphasize that for me.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I will always attend, I will always support, I'll sponsor, I'll promote if that's in my, future, but I just don't think I'll ever compete again.
You never right, and you never know where what your next passion is going to be. I totally understand.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I have fallen in love with the America system on such a deep level over the last month because working with all these promoters, I just really
Mhm.
see
Yeah,
the thankless job that it is. And I already knew it was hard, but to really see it on the opposite end of
yeah.
making sure everybody feels heard and acknowledged, it's very rewarding. And so if I could ever do anything else within pageantry, I think I'd want to be a promoter.
So you kind of give me a little insight about what you fall why you're falling in love with the America system now after we'll say post Crown, right?
Sure. Yeah.
With the support and all the other things that are going on, which because you see the back end of it more
Yeah.
now. And so, but I want to know what kept you coming going back the past few years with the drive to get to the crown. Like, what was the love? Not so much about like, of course, because I will always give Linda a shout out, just to let you know, because
Yeah.
that fills my love tank. But like,
Yeah.
I just also want to know why the America system. Why does it continue to put the sparkle in your eye?
I mean, I think it's because my first introduction to pageantry as a whole was the America system. And whenever I realized whenever I competed the first year, I made top 10, I placed seventh overall. So I did not make the five. Um, and that drive and the support and the camaraderie, the brotherhood, like we always talk about, like it is really real. And so whenever I realized, I was like, oh, this is like where friends are. This is where like my community is. And then
Mhm.
after my second year, that's when I found my purpose because a lot of people came up to me and said, you can win this. Don't give up. Because I got second alternate my second year
Okay.
in Dallas when Christopher Inez won. I was the second
Mhm.
alternate. And and I knew I was going to take a break. And granted, the system, the division, took a break with the name change and the format change and everything. And so I really took that year to myself and was like, oh, this is what I want to do. And it's because of the likes of the formers and the forevers and um Monica, especially. I mean, and then you meet people like my promoters this last year, Richie and Robbie from Johnson City, who are fantastic. And then when you reign with somebody like Ebony Alexander, it really just shows you're just like, oh, this is where I'm meant to be. And this is my family. And I always thought I was going to be a stage actor, right? Especially after my mom passed away. I was like, okay, cool. You're going to be a stage actor. You're going to work. You're going to have fun. You'll have your day job, but like, you're going to be fulfilled. And then I wasn't getting fulfilled in that sense that I needed to. And when I found pageantry, that's when I actually found, I was like, oh, this is the fulfillment that they talk about. When you say like, oh, this is my tribe, these are my people, this is my community.
Yep.
That's what I finally found. And I was 28, I think, by the first time I competed, maybe 27. And I finally won at 30. So it's like the start of a new decade, and then like, I don't know. It's just, I don't think I'll ever come down from cloud nine because I'm so grateful and thankful to have won this title. But it's also because I know the gravity that it holds. There's a lot of gravity, and it's not an easy job. It's not a job that you can just like flippantly get.
Sure.
But you have to. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I just want not to interrupt you, but I just want to. So, just for maybe one of the viewers at home that is just watching for the first time. So, also remind everybody that's watching right now, please hit that share button, because the more people we bring in, the more people fall in love with not only the America system, like Jaredlance and I do, but also the Gay America Esquire division, because those competitors are just as fierce. Let me just tell you, and I saw it firsthand. But I just lost my train of thought. Because I was just
but let me piggyback off what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Male entertainers are, and I'm going to be biased, right?
I want you to
But male entertainers put in so much effort into the drag sphere because we are not sought after, and I experience it here in Atlanta as well. But you, as male entertainers, and whenever people book entertainment, they always want a drag queen, which is fine. And I get it. Trust me, I get it. Like, I love all of it. But whenever you're in the world as a male entertainer, you are not looked at seriously. I can't tell you how many times I was called a failed drag queen. And I was like, I only did drag one in Kinky Boots and then another time for charity. Like, that's the only time I've ever done it, right?
And I want a crown. So can everybody...
Right? And so whenever we talk about male entertainers, we really do have to understand that we really do put in just as much effort as our drag queen counterparts, because we understand what it's like to not want to be wanted in those spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to discredit any other type of entertainer, because we are all so equal when we're all on the stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't feel lesser than when I'm standing next to Tracy or Anya, Miss Gay America and then Miss Gay America Femme. I feel equal because the system has allowed me to feel like I've earned that seat at the table, while also working with these two hand in hand. We're the trifecta, as we've been calling each other.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, but it's because we're all on the same level, and we all are working for the same goal, and we're all walking hand in hand, one foot after another. And it's because we respect each other. I feel respected whenever I'm in these spaces because they know what I offer. And I hope that people see like my heart and know that I'm not just here to get a crown or whatever, or a title that comes along with it. I'm here to really make as much difference as I can, while also bettering the system. That way we can go on for another handful of decades, while I'm still here in the world. So...
Well, I'll tell you, just even from the past 4 weeks, and even before that at the pageant, or even prior to that too, like, you've already made a name for yourself, and you've already shown what you have to offer, and there's actually more to come, which is so exciting to see, and it's so amazing. And I'm excited to see everything you have in store for this year, but also I know everyone else is as well. So
Thank you.
and
And
you, and
I
you created
appreciate you
that.
saying that.
And I mean that. And you created that. You created that vibe because that's who you are. You wear your heart on your sleeve and you do your thing, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. So hats off to you.
Thank you.
So let's I mean, we're already spilling over on time because I always try to keep it a little bit short, but I knew we were gonna chitty chat. But
Yeah. I'm fine. I've
so
got nothing to do.
go in that hot tub once that sun goes down.
Yeah,
Honey.
right.
So what is your inspiration for your style of performing?
So I'm like known as like a Broadway boy, it's where I'm most comfortable. My
Okay.
very first year, whenever I competed at the prelim, I tried to do some nonsense. It was horrible. I did not win that category at
What
all.
was the nonsense?
It was like a male version of the Pussycat Dolls, but it was like a rock version.
I would love that. Was it a
It was
cover, like a male?
It was a male singer. Yeah, it wasn't dubbed down or anything.
Okay.
And I was doing this style of dance that just was not in my wheelhouse. And I had a judge tell me, um, and they've apologized since, but I had a judge, they were just like, if you're not a dancer, you shouldn't dance. And I was like, wow. I said, I'm a dancer, but let
Oh,
me,
that
and
is-
then, and
You're
then
like,
whenever they,
look at my feet, look at my feet. I'm a dancer.
right. And whenever they came back to me, they said, well, no, do a dance that you're comfortable with. Like, do theater. You said you're a theater boy, like, do theater. And so I did that. My second year, to a degree, I wanted to incorporate ballroom dancing. So I did male on male ballroom dancing for part of my talent my second year. But this last year, I really just said, I said, you know what? I am going to do what I want to do. And I did Broadway, and we made it a story, and there was a lot of things in between that made it work, and it really told the story of like Jaredlance as a little boy with a dream, right? This is so crazy, and I want to make sure that I say this.
Yeah.
The first year after I competed, it was in October. Later that month, back here in Atlanta, I went to a Halloween party, and they said, oh, there's a girl doing tarot card readings. I said, oh my God, I need answers. Cause I was just so like, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
And I did the tarot card reading, and she pulled the 3 cards. And the first card was, you're looking for an answer. I don't remember what the card was, but this is the explanation. She said, you're looking for an answer. You're not going to get it. And I was like, wow, that sucks, but okay. And then she pulled the second card, and it was something to do with the mother. And she said, what's your relationship to your mom? And I said, oh my God. And then I had explained it to her. And she says, she's with you every step of this process. Pageantry, because I was regarding pageantry, right?
Mhm.
And I said, okay. And then she pulled the third card, and it was 3 of something. I can't remember what she said. And she said, you're going to win on your 3rd try. And I was like, that sucks, because that means I have to compete a second time and I'm not going to win, or whatever.
You need to call her, thank her is what she needs to do for giving you the
right.
Go back to her and be like, can you tell me more?
Right. But it was so crazy because she even said, she's like, this is the clearest reading I've had in a while. You're not going to get your answer. Your mother is with you the whole way, and you will win on your 3rd attempt. Yeah. And sure enough, I've never told that story to anyone because I never wanted to jinx myself. Yeah. But I did win and I won on my 3rd try.
And you know what? I feel like, and if I'm allowed to say so, I feel like your mom kind of helped conduit that moment. Like that moment was supposed to happen to be able for you to hear that, to keep pushing you forward and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, and the second year that I competed alongside Christopher Inez Onyx, I was winning the pageant going into question. And so I even thought to myself, I said, well, I guess she's wrong or whatever, right? Because I knew what I was doing. And then I flopped question, and it brought me down to second alternate. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's just the fact, right? And Christopher absolutely deserved, and he's one of my favorite people. He knows that. And he deserved that win, and he did a fabulous reign. But it really did kind of shift things in perspective. I was like, oh, maybe I will win on my 3rd try, but it's not just going to get handed to me. I have to do everything that's going to earn it, right? And so that's whenever it really went into, I said, well, if I do win on my 3rd try, then this is what I'm going to do. And so that's when I focused like, okay, you're going to do Broadway. Okay, you're going to wear baby blue because you love how it looks on you. You're going to honor your mom this way. You're going to wear a sportswear inspired presentation outfit because you love the category sportswear. Like it was just stuff like that where I was like, oh, these decisions will get me the win.
And
You
it clicked
know?
because you're doing you.
Yeah.
You were you.
Yeah. And that's like the biggest, I mean, it sounds cliche, so bear with me, but it is the best advice I can give anybody going to compete this next year is that you need to just show us you and not what you think America wants to see. And I'm guilty of that, right? It happened for the first 2 years. I was doing me, but I thought it was the America version. And then after the third, during my third preparation, that's when I was like, you know what? Balls to the walls. I'm just going to do what Jaredlance wants to do and be the most authentic self. And Tatiana Vaucher had said, she said, this was the best you've ever performed.
Mm.
And I had asked her, I said, I won, but like, is there any feedback that I can get? And she gave me one little note in a specific category. And she's like, other than that, no, I get it. Like, I get it. And so that's where I really started to understand it's like, okay, America doesn't have a formula, but whenever you figure out that it's always about authenticity and it's about being true to yourself as an entertainer, but also as a person, because there can't be an entertainer without the person behind it, right? That's the formula, if you want to call it one. And it really is so real. But it really is just, I mean, yeah, I could go on about it, but winning this title.
I can still see you on cloud nine. I see you just smiling.
Yeah.
You're just twinkling, and I love that. And you know what, though? It is very inspiring for the people that are watching as well, because it's something that like you really just persevered through a few years of doing what you were doing to get to where you're at today. And, and I hope that people see the feels that you're having. And it's not a, lack of words. You're not being, lack of better word. You're not like being all conceited about it. You're not walking around like you're a hot shot person. You are walking around so humble. You're so passionate. You are pounding the pavements already on social media and getting the word out. And I know, and I know you have a couple big shoes to fill, but I know you're gonna. Because I respect all the people, all the brothers that have paved the way. Yeah. But I just have to say that I know that you're gonna fill it and overflow it. So.
Thank you. I mean, it's exactly what I want to do. And, I really do have big shoes to fill, mainly because Christopher has huge feet. But but I really respect the legacy that everybody has put down before me. I know that I'm not in it alone. And I even said that in an interview. I said, I'm not afraid to ask for help. Let me say that. If I don't understand how something is getting done, or if I have a hurdle or something, I'm not afraid to ask for insight or for advice. But I mean, and like you said, regarding the humility, and this is a really good thing for anybody to take. My mother taught me that when you walk into any single room, you own that room. You know exactly what you offer, and you don't lessen yourself because what you offer is the best. Mm-hmm. That is where your confidence comes from. Where your humility comes from is that I can walk into any room and I know what I offer. What Jaredlance offers is A, B, and C. However, you look across the room, there will be somebody better than you in that same room. And that's where humility stays. Because if you can walk into any single room and say, I know what I'm doing, but I can respect and acknowledge that there are other people who are doing the damn thing, probably sometimes better. That's going to allow you to be confident within yourself, but also to remain humble, because without humility, it's a gross trait that unfortunately a lot of us share just as humans, right? Not even as like gay men or drag queens or whatever, right? But it's just as individuals in the world, we all need to have a lot of humility. because whenever you're humble, it is going to benefit you long term. And it's also going to show people like, oh, he can win a national title, right? But the humility behind it is actually what people will remember. It's like how people will say they never remember the win, but they remember the rain, you know?
Very so.
Um,
Very true.
and I'm noticing that the sun is going down behind me.
I'm
So I'm
watching
like
it. It's so funny you
significantly
said
getting
that.
brighter.
It's hot tub time. It's hot tub time.
Yes.
So,
But yeah,
yeah. So, I definitely have a couple more we spilled over,
yeah,
but that's
yeah.
okay.
No,
I
please.
do want to, I want to ask if we're allowed to hear any sprinkles of things to come for the new pageant season for Esquire. Is there anything that we can share or discuss that's going on in the behind scenes right now that we can let only our secret friends that are watching right now know about?
Of course, yeah. All of our tens of friends. So right now, Gay America Esquire 2027 is going to be held in Kansas City at the MTH Theater, like it was this last year, May 13th to the 15th. Yeah, there's going to be more details as time goes on about what's going to happen on those specific days. But right now, I will keep that under lock and key. We do have our first 2 qualified contestants. I had my first prelim last weekend in Johnson City, Tennessee, which was also my regional step down as Gay 7 America Esquire, which was so fun. Those contestants are Tyson and Rain. He won the title of Gay 7 America Esquire. And then his first alternate is Felix. Tyson is from Nashville. Felix is from Kansas City. And a special shout out to Maya Angel, who was the second alternate. That he did an amazing job, and I'm super, super proud of everything that he put on that stage because he really made a great impression with the America system.
Is he coming back? Is he coming back?
I
Not to talk his dish. Sorry.
let's hope because he really did such a fantastic job, and he reminded me a lot of myself, honestly. With being so green, but also being so willing to learn, right? And this is something that Tracy and I realized together. 4 years ago, neither of us were doing this. Drag, pageantry, whatever you want to call it, right? And now we're both title holders.
You're in the deep end, honey. That's fierce. And you both, all 3 of you. What did the trifecta?
Trifecta, yeah.
You're all doing amazing.
Yeah,
shout out to my girl Anya as well. I know she's watching.
Yes, of course. She's my sister, not my wife. She is my sister. Tracy is the wife. Anya is the sister. Yes. But yeah, so that's like the little sprinklings that I can share right now is that it is May 13th to the 15th. So that is super exciting. Miss Gay America and Miss Gay America Femme will obviously be here in January, which I'm going to be super excited about. And I know Casey is excited about him not having to buy a plane ticket for me. Right. But yeah, so I mean, great things are coming. If you want to buy a prelim, hit me up because I'm available. But I've got a lot of really awesome opportunities that this title has gifted me with, and I'm excited to hit the ground running. My first prelim was great, and all 3 of us, it was a historic prelim because all of us had our own divisions in one single night. Nice. And we ended that pageant an hour early. So it can be done. It can be done. Don't be scared. But yeah.
Well, I adore you so much. I could literally probably
Likewise.
talk to you for 4 million hours. So I just appreciate your time. And I know that we're all busy, fabulous people, but I just appreciate you taking the time out of your day to continue my dream, which is to just have a fabulous little podcast called Let's Get Down to Excellence and just really showcase how I feel about the America system as well. So,
and to toot your own horn as you should, I think you're doing such a great job being objective about, highlighting everybody. And you're not even highlighting the America system. Like your interview with the Continental Court was phenomenal. Of course. Because I tune in.
I need Jim Blink to say hello to me and say, I see you, Morgan. No, I'm just kidding, Jim.
No, I will going forward. But I think it is so great what you're doing because pageantry isn't dying. It's really not. I mean, if anything, it's at one of the highest peaks right now. Contestant turnout does not mean that a system is dying. It does not mean anything because, I mean, hello, Miss Gay America gets 40 to 50 contestants a year, you know? And I think that really does speak a lot of volume. And with the break that Esquire had, and for us to get 17 qualified contestants on the first year, and then also for 13 of those to actually show up, you know, and actually compete, it really does speak a lot because it
And
shows
great
that,
quality. And great quality
yeah.
contestants too. Just
And it
so
was, and those contestants really put up a real fight. Like, I don't think I won this title easily, you know. And so it really does show a lot that pageantry is doing its thing and that it's here to stay. I mean, legislation be damned, but like drag and pageantry are here to stay. And I think it's a really great opportunity for people to broaden their horizons of what entertainment can be and being and allowing themselves to be open to what it is ought to be, because it doesn't have to just stay in the four walls of a bar or a theater. We can be mainstream outside of Drag Race, because we have just enough talent and quality and administrative skills. So
as we should, right? As winners.
yeah. Hello, that's the job.
I just love it. I love it. And I love you so much.
Likewise.
And I look forward to hopefully doing a couple more interviews throughout the year with you.
Yeah, I would love to. I love to talk about myself, obviously.
I love to, and I love to listen. So no, and I know you can handle it because you are crowned king or Esquire.
Esquire. King, Esquire, yeah, same thing.
I like saying Esquire. It's more fabulous.
Yeah, it's special.
And,
it's special.
So in true Morgan fashion, and for Let's Get Down to Excellence, whomever is my guest on the show, I always like to ask them what their meaning of excellence is, because excellence is different for everyone. And I would definitely love to hear what your meaning of excellence is, because I definitely am going to ask you again before you have your step down. So I would love to hear it now and then compare it to later on. Or it could be the same later on too.
Sure. I mean, you know, I think the meaning of excellence to me is just listening, but also willing to learn. Had I not been willing to learn from years past, you know, because I did fairly well both years, but if I did the same thing, then I would have been in limbo, right? So I was willing to learn and really listen to the people who had been in the position before and said, this is how you can do it. You just have to apply it. So I think the meaning of excellence is just adaptability, and really roll with the punches right now, right? That's what my meaning of excellence is because when you roll with it and you do what you need to do for yourself, your best foot forward, you put your best foot forward. And when you put your best foot forward, people see the surface, but people see the heart as well. And I think it really does make a huge difference whenever authenticity is apparent on stage. Because if you're not authentic, it shows, it oozes, and it's awkward for everyone. And it's a shame because you're only being topical, you know, your surface level. There's no depth behind it. So excellence to me is putting your best foot forward while also being willing to listen and being authentic to you in question and answer.
You know what? You won it. You won question and answer. Congratulations.
I did not. I did not.
Well, you didn't, but tonight you did, Jared.
Oh, tonight. My bad. Sorry.
I'm screaming. I love you. Okay. So, well, now it's almost pitch dark there. That means it is nighttime and is ready to just...
It's fine.
Whatever you want to do at nighttime. But I thank you again so much for joining me tonight. I look forward to seeing all that you are doing this year with your reign, and I know everyone else is rooting along, and your trifecta is with you. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart for taking time out of your day to join me and to chat with everyone out there in the virtual world. But it would not be me if this is about you, not me. So I don't want to just say goodbye to you and then say goodbye to everyone else. I want to say goodbye to. Well, I want you to say goodbye to everyone else with me, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So thank you again for joining. And
thank you.
For me and you, let's just say goodbye to the viewers at home, and then I'll bid you adieu.
All right.
All
Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll see you soon.